Hello, crafty friends. So we are back on part 2. I'm sorry that it appears dark, but actually I do have some lights on in here. I don't know what it is. Maybe because the screen is so bright. Maybe that's why it's acting crazy. I don't know. But anyway, I just want to let you know if there are any problems with the visuals, let me know. Okay, so today we're going to work on shading, okay? So we're going to go ahead and start shading and blending. So I did merge my base layer with my bottom or the colored layer, right? So I did merge that together, and I apologize. That is on the video that I did a few minutes ago, but I messed up and I thought, oh, instead of doing that, I'll just start over. But anyway, we will work. I will show you how to merge layers in a little bit, okay? What we want to do right now is create a new layer. So I'm going to tap on my base layer, right? And the only reason why I'm doing that is because I want to make sure if it's highlighted, that's where I want my layer to go. I do not want my layers to go above the top layer. Okay, do not do that. So we're going to hit plus. See, so now it says layer 3. I'm going to rename it. I'm going to call this fox. We're just going to call this ears. Okay, so now I know it's the ears, and if there's anything I don't like or whatever, I can just get rid of it. Okay. So I also have created a new palette, okay, and in this palette I basically, you know what, I'll just go ahead, whoops, delete swatch. Let's see, let's add a new palette, okay. I'm going to add a new palette, create new palette. And I'm going to call it the same thing, Fox Palette. Okay. Oops. Whoa, I can't spell today. Okay. Right. So we got our new palette. I'm going to go ahead and delete this one. Okay. Just so we can start fresh, right? So the first thing I want to do is I want to go ahead and add in my original box color. Right, and so I'm just going to tap it. We already have this up here. All right, now I want to go to disc down at the bottom, and I want to do a few shades darker, okay? And so I'm going to add that, and then I'm going to scroll it up and do a few shades lighter, okay? Yeah, we'll just work with that. Okay, it's okay. So we're only worried about the ears, and then the next layer we're going to make is right here. And you're going to use those same exact colors, right? So first of all, for your brush, okay, I want you to go into painting, and I'm actually going to switch my brush because I tried a new one. I didn't like it. I'm going to go to Pandini, okay? Now, again, we pinch out to go ahead and start our coloring, right? And I do move my thing around. You can move this around just like so. It's up to you. I prefer to move this around. Now let me turn my pen on, okay? And I think I'm going to lower my opacity a little bit. I'm going to do 76%. Whoops. Let me make it smaller. Oops. So if you go like this, you're going to cover more space, right? So it just depends on the angle of your brush. So I'm going to go ahead and move it up a little bit. And just remember, the further, the more you go on top of it, the more you're going to cover, right? And we're just trying to add in our blending colors, just like you would with your markers, right? Ooh, hold on, sorry, that was a little too thick. Okay. And I'm going to go ahead and keep going. And it's pretty much going to be the same each time. And I am going to go in a little bit each time. because I am going to go right over this exact layer with a little more of the darker color, okay? Now remember guys, you don't have to touch this too heavy, right? And I did forget to mention that you're going to need either a matte glass screen, or they have a new screen that is kind of like a drawing screen where they call it I prefer the matte glass personally because it'll last longer, but there is another one called Paper-like. And that basically will make it feel like you're drawing on paper, okay? I particularly don't care for that one, but you know, you guys can use whichever one you want to use. It's just whatever you feel comfortable with. So then I'm going to come back up here. Hold on. I see a little mark I made. Erase that. Okay. Sorry. Go back over to this, and I'm going to go ahead and start adding in my darker color right on top of that other one. So all we're doing is we're doing our shading. And I'm going to move up the opacity a smidge. Now you guys can just play around with your brushes and see which ones you prefer and the blending types that you like. That is completely up to you. Okay, so now I'm going to come in here and I'm going to use my airbrush. So that's basically, excuse me, that's what this one is. I did choose Pandani again for my airbrush, but we may change it in just a minute. It just depends. Okay, and so now I want to go ahead and bump up my opacity and see. Oops, that's a little too much. Go back. There you go. That's about right. So which one was I at? 59%. Okay. And you're just going to basically, like you would be doing your markers, you just blend it in towards the center. You start from the back and blend it in. Okay. That's basically all you do. Okay, now let's blend it out. Let's see what we've got going on here. Not sure I truly like that. So I'm going to go back to my brush, back to that dark color, and I'm just going, whoa. Let me go down on my opacity here. Maybe up a little bit. Okay, then I'm going to go back to my lighter color, and I'm just going to add a little bit. more in here. Don't worry. I know it looks crazy, right now, but don't worry about that. Okay, now we're going to go back to our airbrush, and it should have the same settings I had before. There we go. That's a little better. So that's all it really is just playing around with it to see the effects you like. Sometimes changing the direction of how you're moving the pencil also helps with the blending, right? See if I can get it to blend a little better. Okay, so I'm happy with that. I'm going to come in with my eraser. All right, and I'm just going to clean up anything in here. Hold on, get that opacity back up. Oops, I didn't do that. Oh, there we go. Sorry. Here we go. So this part you do need to clean up, just FYI. Anything that's outside or out of bounds, you'll need to do that. Another way you can see if you went out of the bounds, you will see kind of like some blurring here, right? So I see that. I'm going to go ahead and clean that up. Just be careful not to erase everything you just did. Be very careful. There we go. Okay. Turn that back on. And so now I'm done with one ear. I mean, you can even, change it to left ear, right ear, add another layer. We can do the right ear, right? So let's just add another layer above this one. Plus, oops, I forgot to name that one. Sorry, rename. We're going to call that left ear. Left ear. We're going to call this one, rename, right ear. Oops. Okay. There we go. Okay, so then I'm going to come back in and I'm basically going to do the same thing. Okay. It's pretty much the same thing all around. When you're doing this, you're just going to keep on creating layers and layers. Let me go ahead and finish this ear, and then I will be right back. And actually, I'm going to finish this ear and work on this space, right? So I'll create another layer. Let me go ahead and create another layer, and I'm going to do hair. Okay, that's what I'm going to call it. Hairline. This hair. Whatever, it doesn't matter. Okay, so let me go back to the right ear, and we'll go ahead and do those two parts, and then I'll come back and show you what I have. Okay guys, so hopefully you can see this. I'm pretty happy with how it turned out. I went ahead and I blended over the little black lines, and then I came back in and I erased them a little bit. Don't erase too much of these. Just remember you'll have that top layer. In fact, I can show you right now. Let's see if it makes a difference. You can see the top layer right over what you did earlier, right? So actually, when you do the top layer, you will have to go back in, right? Make sure I'm on the top layer. Yeah, let me go to the top layer right there. Okay, and so I'm going to go ahead and erase that, that one little piece that drove me crazy before, right? And anything else in here that you thought, like, here's another one. Okay. And that. And yeah, I think we're, because I did fill in some of these things, but yeah, I think that looks good for now. If there's anything else, any other boo-boos I need to fix, I will do that. Let me see what this is. Oops, whoa. Let me see if this was here. Nope. Very interesting. Don't know where that came in, but it did. I don't know. Maybe it was a boo-boo when I was filling it in. I have no idea, but we're not going to worry about that right now. It might have been a piece of white that was still in there and I didn't erase it. So, okay. Isn't it looking cute so far? So now I'm going to go ahead and start working on the face, right? Now, you have a couple options. If you are super happy with how this is, you can merge the layers. I suggest not. I do not merge the layers until the very end, okay? And I do that for good reason in case I find something where I accidentally mark something somewhere. I can't fix it, okay, if I do that. If I merge the layers, I cannot fix anything, as in that base layer, can't fix it now. I went ahead and merge the other layer. So now it would be kind of pointless for me to do that. But anyway, so let me remove the top layer again. Well, not remove it, but I'm going to undo it again. And then I'm going to go ahead, I'm on hair, and I'm going to add another layer. So this one we're going to call face. Okay, and then I'm going to go back to my color palette. Okay, and I'm going to press on this, right? And let me go back to my palette. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and add that there, right? And then, whoops, let me go to my disc. And then I'm going to go down to a lighter, I'm going to go, actually, no, let me go down first. Let me go to a darker color first. Okay, see, that's not enough. I can tell you that right now. Going to want to go a few shades darker. You delete that swatch. Let me add it back in. That's a little better. Okay. And then I'm going to go ahead and go lighter. Then I'm going to go back to this one. Sorry. Let me go back to that one. And then I'm going to go lighter than that. Quite a bit. Okay. So now I have my blending colors. All right. So now I can go back to make sure I am on. I thought I changed that to face. Rename. Okay. There we go. And then I'm going to come back in with my darker color. Or you can do your lighter color first, whichever one you prefer, right? Make sure I have the right. I do. And then I'm just going to start adding. Whoop. Go down a little bit. And just add that in there, guys. And you can just mess with the opacity as needed. I'm going to go pretty dark in the face right here, right? Because it's a corner of the face. So we're just going to kind of go dark with that. Oops. And guys, you know, like I do have problems where I will press too hard. You know, just remember while you're doing this, you don't need to do that. It'll do this for you. And I'm just going to go right over my black line currently because I want to make sure that I get that edge. Okay, and I'm going to go in pretty dark. Keep going. Maybe not that far. Maybe I will. What the heck, right? Whoop. Okay, and just keep going around here. And I am going to go over this again because because I do want it darker. I'm going to clean some of this up. Oops, well, hold on. I don't want to get too close to my black. Here we go. There we go. Okay. And I'm doing it now because I know me and I will forget to do it later. So that's why I'm kind of cleaning it up now. Okay. Go back to my brush. Okay. Sorry I'm being so quiet. Let me just go back here. I'm going to erase some of this. Oops. I'm a little too thick. Okay. There we go. Okay, so far it's okay. Go back to my brush and I'm going to come in here and get in those nooks and crannies. Definitely want to get in there. Okay, go back in with my eraser. Woo! Alright, backwards. My eraser too big. Let me do it a little smaller. Okay, guys, I know. Whoops! Whoa, see? You can accidentally mess it up and not even know you did it. Okay, so now I'm just continuing to erase these big blobs, okay? And you can wait till the end, but you know, I just prefer to do it now. But anyway, okay, so then I'm going to come in here and I'm just going to continue on around the edges, but let me go ahead and work on my light so you guys can see what I'm doing, right? And I'm going to go down with the opacity a bit. Okay. I'm going to go right on in there. Okay. And then just come in and erase, okay? Now remember, if you get it over the pink part, you're going to make sure you have to erase that part, okay? The only thing you're recovering is the black lines. See, like I'll show you again. Here we go. We got the black lines again. But I do like to make sure that I have the pink clear with any problems. Okay. Whew. So then I'm just going to go ahead and continue on with my dark color back over here. Oops. Okay, so I'm just going to finish this, and then I'll go ahead and come back and show you how I blended it. Okay, yeah, I think so. All right, and I'm just going to go ahead and outline around the mouth with the darker color that I used over here, just to kind of help outline that a little bit. Okay. All right, so I will be back shortly.